Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Equal Performance. This is the start of the second half of the season. This is round number 7 for the Austrian Grand Prix, and tonight is a sprint evening. This means that it's a one-shot qualifying followed by a 12-lap sprint race and a 36-lap feature race to come. And hopefully it'll produce some pretty good action. Now, see, with one-shot sprint qualifying, that makes things very interesting because obviously one mistake, if you run a little bit wide, invalidate your lap, you don't get another shot at it. You only get that one chance. But it does also mean everyone has maybe a little bit more of a tyre sort of strategy to go with. More tyres available during the evening, although some of them do get taken away after the sprint race. Now, obviously, the Austrian Grand Prix held here at the Red Bull Ring, formerly known as the A1 Ring or the Österreich Ring, as it was also known in previous renditions. It has, well, it hosts quite a lot of events actually around here in Austria. They have obviously Formula 1, MotoGP race here, DTM, TCR Europe, and it also had an endurance race, the 4 hours of the Red Bull Ring, along with the World Superbikes and the European World the EWC, the old FIM EWC Endurance World Cup, I think it is. So yeah, it's hosted and still hosts a lot of major events. It's a 2.6, pretty much 2.7 mile circuit, which is 4.3 kilometers. 10 corners around the GP loop, and a very, very fast lap time. We're going to be seeing times probably around the sort of minute 4s, minute 5s area, I'd have thought. But let's have a little look at the history of this circuit. It was opened in 1969 as the Österreich Ring, before it got a change in 1986. The circuit changed, and then it became the A1 Ring in 1996 until 2004, when it effectively got closed as the A1 Ring, when Red Bull basically bought it and now own it. But there we go. So we're going to be on board with this is Clips Kiri through turn 1. I'm going to go up the hill through turn 2, which is a flat left-hander. Massive Marshall has already retired. Into turn 3. Really awkward hairpin right. Gotta be careful not to spin the wheels up and spin the car. Then you're going to go back down the hill, DRS open towards turn number 4. Again, tricky braking because it's downhill, slightly off camber as you go into the corner. 5 is flat, bring it over to the right hand side for 6. Hit the brakes, let it coast almost through, and then pick up the throttle on the exit. A little bit wide that from Clips Kiri. 7, sort of similar, but you kind of want to attack the apex as much as you can. And it opens up 8, down towards 9 for Jochen Rindt curve. Down, drop it a gear, tilt it in, bring in the throttle. Final corner once again, turn 10. What can we do with Clips Kiri? Who's going to have pole position? It is Gattuso on pole, 104.5. And unfortunately, Clips Kiri disqualified from that session. When they say disqualified, just means they've invalidated their lap. Also, good evening to Spud and Stephen. Hope everyone is well. But here is your grid for the sprint race of the Austrian Grand Prix. Gattuso and Ruddo make up your front row, with Ginger Tiger and Ivan on row 2. Row 3 is Typhoon and Kriksik. Row 4, Bruce and Nitrogash. Row 5 is Maris and the Leg, with the Cat and O'Steven on row 6. Row 7 has Mikey and Keza, with Massive Marshall and Clips Kiri We're missing a car in that. I've got no 16th place, which is quite interesting. Marshall, Clips, Kiri, they have row 8. Row 9 is Matty, Rudd and Jack. So Jack, not ideal with that for the championship protagonist. And Sir Spud will be at the back of the pack. So once we have a small wait. So look at some standings. We have Kent, who does lead the championship. However, he is not here tonight, which is going to allow everyone behind to close up. Gattuso, only 12 points behind him, 72, plays 60. Jack is third on 57. Krixik on 47. Clips Kiri on 39. Nitrogash 35. Sam Flan 32. Ginger Tiger 32 as well. Flaherty on 31. And Typhoon rounds out the top 10 with 30 points. In terms of constructors, Aston Martin lead the way on 90, with Red Bull on 81. McLaren have 68, Mercedes 67 and Ferrari 51. And it must be noted that the Williams team, although they had a really good start, they've also been deducted all the points from previous rounds, potentially due to the new pairing of Rudder and Bruce taking over that team. So they're at the bottom of the pack, 19 points between them after Canada. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, the two Kick Saubers, 11th and 12th at the moment in their standings. So Spud and O'Stephen having some good points finishes of late and during the season. We've got 12 laps of sprint race action to come here at the Red Bull Ring, and a massive chance for Gattuso here he could potentially walk away from Austria leading the championship. At the moment there are 8 points. 8 points or 5 points? 5 points. 5 points up for offer in the sprint race. If you win it, the top 5 will score points. 5 if you win, 4 if you come second, 3 if you come third, 2 if you come fourth, and a solitary point for the last person in the top 5. And then also we have our normal feature race with normal points afterwards. So you've got about a maximum of 23 points from this round. So Gattuso could leave it with a healthy lead as well, if all goes to plan for him. Stephen is saying it's going to be a hard night to get points for the Kick Sauber team. You never know. I mean, Red Bull Ring does throw up a lot of incidents. It's not uncommon to have a safety car around here. So yeah, I think the biggest thing around here is just keeping yourself clean, staying out of trouble, and sort of letting the race come to you at times. Because sometimes it only takes one incident and 2-3 cars are out, because you're really high speed into heavy braking zone. Lots of damage can occur if you're not careful. But we're on the formation lap. Let's see what sort of... actually, let's get everything set up first of all. There's your track map of the A1 ring. That's the A1, the Red Bull ring. I'm going to call it all sorts tonight, I think, for nostalgia purposes. And there's your tyres. Everyone on the mediums, except for one person in the Racing Ball camp. It is Massive Marshall. Marshall has decided to go on the hard compound of tyre. And it must also be strictly known that if you're going to come into the pits as a driver, you need to make sure you do not cross that white line on the pit entry. You have to stay with them all the way around turn 9. Can cause some issues, but ultimately those are the rulings. As we come to the start-finish line to start this race, everyone lining up. Gattuso already in his grid slot. And there is Sir Spud in the second of the Saubers. The leg, unfortunately, getting his parking wrong there. There's a... I want to say that's Mikey. With a slightly... Yes, it was. But we have the 5 red lights. We are racing at the Red Bull Ring for the sprint race. Who's got the best go? And that's a great getaway from Krixik. He's up into 4th place. Gattuso maintains the lead. But further behind is Krixik up into 4th place. There's a spin of a Haas. We've got people dropping down. Looks like Mikey's involved in that. As we go up towards turn number 2, we've got Ruddo all over the back of Gattuso. Oh, Gattuso's locked up going into turn 3. Ruddo pounces on the chance. It's a lovely little switchback from the Williams driver. And he's through. And Nitrogash, 10-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining 2 places. But we're going side by side again, one for the lead. Gattuso looking around the outside of turn 4. Can he hang it? Yes, he can. He can keep the car on the outside. That's phenomenal driving. And Gattuso just about gets back into the lead of this race. And Ruddo will have to settle back down behind and look at the back of that Aston Martin rear wing and come up with another plan. It was a good idea to start with on the first lap. But unfortunately, Gattuso managing to get his way back up into the front of this pack as we enter turn 9 and 10. Krixik getting sideways coming through turn 9 as he chases down the Mercedes of Ginger Tiger. Further back, what do we have? We got Stephen, he's 11th. Nitrogash down to 13th. So down he could be up. Jack is 14th. Mikey, I'm trying to see, no real damage on his car, so maybe just making sure he didn't get caught up in anything. But Gattuso and Ruddo are side by side through turn 3 once again. Obviously DRS is enabled. And Gattuso is going to get the second hit of DRS on this lap. Ruddo once again to the inside, quickly down the inside of Ginger Tiger. He's going to get that move made. The Ferrari up into the podium places. Nitrogash fighting Maris as well into turn 4. And Ruddo holds on this occasion against Gattuso. So this is going to be a race-long battle here in the sprint. As Massive Marshall losing out to Sir Spud in that tyre compound difference that could come back to pay dividends later on. Bruce has overtaken Typhoon in a very unusual place around turn 7 and 8. I think Typhoon may be having a slight mistake because he's now got Keza all over the back of him. But back at the front, oh, that's close between Gattuso and Krixik. Krixik looking maybe to put it 3 wide, thinks probably a better idea. Through turn 1, and Gattuso just about backs out of that one, but he's going to lose a bit of momentum. He's going to be vulnerable here to Krixik as Bruce now gets past Ivan. Because of everyone bunching, there's a spinner, that's the leg. He's off after turn 1. Gattuso defending from Krixik now through turn 3. Clips Kiri's gone backwards as well. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's a spin at turn 3, but Gattuso has lost out to Krixik down into turn 4. Oh, that's a lunge and a half from Ginger Tiger. A little bit of contact, but nothing too major. I mean, just a little bit out breaking himself against Ivan. Ivan in a reserve place at the moment, I think. Driving in that Ferrari camp. And this is not going to settle down as the leaders approach turn 9. Gattuso filling the mirrors of that Ferrari. But no mistake comes from Krixik. Oh, a little bit of a twitch. As we come across the line, we're already onto lap number 4. Massive Marshall puts up 3 seconds for multiple warnings of track limits. We come through turn 1. It's a good run from Ruddo, but I think here comes Krixik to the inside, to the front. Ferrari leads. Ivan down the inside of Gattuso. A little bit of contact. Gattuso sideways. And amazingly, no one really benefits from that because he was spread across the road. Pretty much a complete roadblock. Bruce, as Ruddo now goes back down the inside of Krixik, down into turn 4. We got Keza looking down the inside of Typhoon. That's for the 5th place, the last point paying position here in the sprint race. And Keza in the Red Bull gets through, but yet Gattuso is so far sideways that he's pretty much a roadblock. So Ivan and Gattuso stayed 3rd and 4th. And somehow they're still within DRS. This leading group, I mean, I will apologise to the group behind. You got Steven Nitrogash. That was getting a little bit interesting looking at the gaps. Yeah, the group behind not really getting much TV time at the moment because this leading group, as Massive Marshall, unfortunately had a spin out of 8. Providing a lot of action going on. Krixik once again lining up. There was Massive Marshall, unfortunately, has retired from the race on circuit. I'm not quite sure what's happened, but the two Ferraris storming towards the front. Krixik now leads from Ivan Belov. Righto, under pressure now from Gattuso as well behind. But he's just about going to fend off Ivan here. Whoa, a little bit of shuffling across the road. Fighting for track position. Here comes Gattuso. Almost into the back of Ivan. As Ivan and Radu continue to go side by side through 4. Into 5, and Radu finally concedes that place into turn 6. Gonna live to fight another day because this one is not over, as the cat now has gone round at turn 4. Jack has got himself up into 9th place. Another person of note, Matty Rudd, he's returned to Invictus Racing League, which is good to see. Accompanying the vacant seat by Kent tonight as a reserve. When we head towards turn 1, see that's Jack in the background in 9th place. He's done really well there to get up into 9th. He's managed to navigate the traffic very, very wisely. But up towards the 3rd corner, and Ivan round the outside of Krixik. He's going to get done over here by the DRS though, because Krixik's going to have DRS, as is Rudder, and Rudder's got a good run on Krixik, so this might save Ivan from losing that lead. Krixik late on the brakes. Oh, it's getting close between them. The two Ferraris against the Williams. And Ivan, sorry, Krixik does the smart thing and concedes place, although Keza and Gattuso, this is not a place you normally go side by side. Oh, and that is absolutely the reason why Gattuso getting very out of shape. Just about saves the car though. And again, nothing malicious in that, just a touch of side-to-side contact. And it can just cause the inside car to spin around, but well held by Gattuso. It's down to 7th. He'll be under pressure from Bruce, but once again, they're all going to have DRS as we come up towards turn number 3 for the 7th time of 12. The cat has come in the pits, got himself a set of soft tyres. It's going to go to the end on those. Possibly a little bit of testing going on there to see how long those softs will go for the feature race. Down towards turn 4. Oh, and a big bit of bunching. Ruddo into the back of Ivan, Krixik into the back of Ruddo, and unfortunately it's Keza who suffered the worst. He's gone round as a sort of a problem with that concertina effect. I think Ivan maybe a little bit slower apex speed than anticipated by everyone behind, just causing that little concertina, and round goes Keza. He's down to 9th, Jack now up into 8th. And Keza's going to be a little bit careful because he's now got Matty Rudd behind him. Krixik picks up 3 seconds of penalties for track infringements, so that's not going to help him. He's now going to have to hope that they can pull 3 clear of Typhoon to keep himself in that 3rd place. Remember, this result determines the grid for the feature race, and it looks like Bruce was having a little bit of a look, and here comes Ginger Tiger down the inside of the pair of them. Gonna push Typhoon out wide. We're going to come back on circuit. Bruce down to 7th, so he didn't have a good getaway from turn 3 because Gattuso now up into 4th place. But look at the gap, 2.5 seconds to Krixik. Krixik's going to get away with that 3-second penalty because of the fighting that's going on. Bruce managing to get past Typhoon, but Typhoon returning the favour into 7 and 8. Good racing between the pair of them, absolutely clean as a whistle. And Typhoon replaces Bruce in 6th place. Meanwhile, it looks like Ruddo's having... I don't know if Ruddo's got front wing damage here because he's not keeping up with Ivan. Probably as close as he would have wanted to here. And he's sort of falling in the clutches of Krixik. I don't know whether that's because there's a bit of wing damage for him, or if he's just maybe backed off to save a bit of ERS, because when you're battling like this, say the ERS is quite vital, and you also use a lot of it very, very quickly. Ginger Tiger to 4th. Jack up into 8th place, getting past Keza. Matty Rudd and Nitro Gash are going side by side. We've got Gattuso and Ginger Tiger. Gattuso getting the place into turn 4. Keza back in front of Jack as we head through 4 as well. Nitro Gash and Matty Rudd still fighting it out. This is for 10th place. This isn't even for points, and they're fighting like you wouldn't believe. Around the outside, Matty Rudd, that's a brave move. It's not going to come off though. Around the long way. Nitro Gash will defend that quite nicely, although I think Nitro Gash has 10 seconds worth of penalties at present. Courtesy of leaving the track, gaining advantage in terms of overtaking other people. Sometimes the game can be very harsh on that element, but unfortunately there's not a lot that can be done. Meanwhile, Gattuso leading the second train. The top 3 kind of settling down a little bit before going to the last few laps. Ginger Tiger back up the inside of Gattuso. He'll take that 4th place. Oh, a bit of a bang of wheels. Who's got the DRS? It is Ginger Tiger. One Typhoon all over the back of his teammates. Can't quite find a route through. Jack in front of Keza. Nitro Gash and Matty Rudd still fighting as we head into turn 4. And they've brought along the Haas boys with them. They've allowed the likes of Clips, Kiri and Maris to close up. Once again, Matty Rudd trying around the outside, but he's a lot further alongside the Mercedes this time. But he's, again, on the outside. You're always going to lose out through 7 and 8. Just that long route around doesn't... Unless you're able to have the car roll around the outside, you're going to have to let it roll a long way. You have to carry a lot of speed and trust that the front end grip will be there. Ruddo, half a second away from Ivan Belov. Into turn 3, Gattuso back to the inside of Ginger Tiger. He'll get that position made. But once again, Ginger Tiger will, he will have DRS. I say that, but his DRS is not open. So they must. Was Typhoon down the inside. That's a lovely little move. Just slid the car to the inside of Ginger Tiger. Using the additional speed, and now Bruce looking to capitalise on what's going on ahead of him. But yeah, I think Ginger Tiger and Gattuso must have passed the detection point at exactly the same time. Just none of them got DRS on that occasion. Meanwhile, we're about to go on to the final lap. And we've got Ruddo against Ivan. Ruddo a lot closer than he has been. Clips Curry picks up another set of 3-second time penalty. Here comes Ruddo, but I think he's going to want to try and... Oh, that was close between the pair. Ruddo trying to give Ivan just a car's width, and I think Ivan's now got DRS. Yes, he does. Ruddo didn't quite pull that one off in the way he would have hoped. I think Ruddo was hoping to try and make sure he's behind the detection point and give Ivan a little something to think about as well, so that he couldn't really retaliate. Down the back straight, we've got a yellow flag. That is Ginger Tiger has gone round at turn 4. Not sure what the cause of that is, but he's going to go well down the order. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got Ivan and Ruddo. I think Ruddo's not quite got enough here. Yeah, it's going to be Ivan Belov who takes the sprint race win, followed by Ruddo. Kriksik will cross the line 3rd. Gattuso will take that 3rd, followed by Typhoon. Will Bruce 9/10 away from taking 5th place and a final points paying position. Jack is in 7th, Keza 8th, Matty Rudd 9th, Maras will come 10th, Mikey 11th, Clips 12th. Oh no, sorry, say that again. Oh, Stephen will be 12th as we have a reversing Nitro Gash there, I think. Either reversing Nitro Gash or reversing... it's Ginger Tiger, sorry, not Nitro. Stephen 12th, Strasbud 13th, Kiri is in 14th, Ginger Tiger 15th, Nitro Gash 16th, The Leg 17th, and it's the Cat. Will be coming home for 18th and last classified runner, Massive Marshall, retiring on lap number 4. But it is this man in the Ferrari, Ivan Belov, 44, who takes the sprint race win and the pole position for the feature race here in Austria. After a very close fought battle. Driver of the day for the sprint race, Jack TM53 synopsis. You can't really argue with that. Started pretty much right at the back. And got himself up into 7th place. So the provisional results: Ivan Belov takes the win from Ruddo. Gattuso is in 3rd, Typhoon in 4th, Kriksik 5th, Bruce 6th, Jack 7th, Keza in 8th, Matty Rudd is in 9th, Maris 10th, Mikey 11th, O'Stephen 12th, Sir Spud 13th, Clips Kiri 14th, Chichen Tiger 15th, Nitrogash 16th, The Leg 17th, The Cat 18th, and Massive Marshall will have a DNF to his record. So we're now going to be waiting for the feature race. Supposing it's a long race. I mean, it's a long race in terms of lappage. It's a very long race in terms of lappage. 36 laps to come. In terms of time, it's not that, well, dependent on safety car. If we're safety car free, it won't be that long a race. We just had the command from Clips Kiri to ready up for the feature race. Oh, we're back into one-shot qualifying, okay. So, let's go on board with someone else. Gattuso. Through the first corner we go, up towards turns 2 and turns 3. Massive Marshall and Bruce have both retired, unfortunately. But through turn 3, down towards turn number 4. Currently, O'Stephen is leading the way as we go through turn 4 in the kick Sauber. 5 and 6, what does Gattuso do? Yeah, let it roll. Ruddo and O'Stephen fighting for pole position right now, and Keza now putting his name in the fray along with Ginger Tiger on the tower. That left-hand tyre is supposedly live platings. I believe it when I fully see it, but Ginger Tiger currently leads the way. What a big moment for Gattuso. Through 9, just about holds it, but yeah, not a moment he would have wanted. And it is Ginger Tiger who takes pole position in preparation for the feature race. So I forgot this game has the newly updated sprint format, shall we say. So the grid for the feature race: Ginger Tiger And Gattuso share the front row with Keza and Ivan on row 2. Row 3 is Ruddo and Nitrogas. Row 4, Klipskiri, the Cat. Row 5, Typhoon and Steven. Row 6, Maras and Jack. Row 7, Sir Spud and Mikey. The Leg, Matty row 8. Massive Marshall and Bruce row 9. And Kriksik will start from dead last in 19th after invalidating his lap. So we await the start of the feature race. And it's again another mixed up grid. Jack in the mid pack. It seems like Jack just can't quite get on with one shot qualifying. I don't know whether that's just because maybe for his style of driving he prefers that second lap attack. You know, just bed the tyres in for one lap, go again. We've got Mercedes and Red Bull on the front row. Bruce at the back along with Kriksik, so watch out for those two coming through the field. Won't be the first time that Bruce has come from the back to maybe secure a good result. Williams' team looking to rebuild after getting their new driver pairing. I think we're waiting for Typhoon to come back from a quick rest stop, shall we say. I don't know if Spud, you can let us know what the weather is doing in the Styrian Mountains. We expect, I mean, looking at the skies, I'm going to say we're in for a pretty dry race. But you never know. Weather can come in. As I say all the time, in Invictus Racing League, we use approximate weather. It's not perfect. Far from it, actually. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. The rain was due to come towards the end of the race, and it was raining at the start of a race and it got drier. So, yeah, and Spud just confirmed with us, it's a dry race. A bit of a shame because this is one of those circuits where if you get mixed weather, it can really make the racing interesting. I remember about 3 seasons ago, I think. At one point, myself and Bruce were commentating on a tier, and we had every single type of tyre out on the circuit. We had softs, mediums, hards, inters, and wets all on the circuit at the same time because the weather was forever changing. And it was a fantastic race to watch because you had all these different strategies, working out which one was best. You just couldn't tell. But we have 36 laps of Austria to come, plus a formation lap. Once we get going, looks like Clips Kiri has given the order for the drivers to ready up. So we're ahead for the formation. And there we go. Sorry, it wasn't a Red Bull on the front row, it's still an Aston Martin. Good too. It's just, I was right about the Mercedes though. Let's go through the grid and the tyres. Pretty simple strategy by the looks of it. 7 of the 19 drivers are starting on hards, the rest on the mediums. But let's have a little recap of the grid. Ginger Tiger is on pole position, followed by Gattuso. Keza is 3rd, Ivan 4th, Ruddo 5th, Nitrogash is in 6th after an unfortunate sprint race. Clips Kiri is 7th with the cat in 8th. Typhoon 9th, O'Stephen 10th, Maras is 11th, Jack is 12th, Sir Spud 13th, Mikey is in 14th, The Leg 15th, Matty Rudd is 16th, Massive Marshall 17th, Bruce 18th, Krixic, the final man on the grid, in 19th in the Ferrari. This infamous circuit is about to host another thriller here in IRL. I mean, tell you what though, I think people, Ginger Tiger just getting his last chance to be running wide through corners. Don't want to be doing that through the race. I mean, imagine if you started picking them up on the formation lap. That would make things interesting, that's for sure. And the drivers come to the grid. They're going to line up and face towards the Lauda curve, named after the legend. That is Niki Lauda. Change the name of the first corner in remembrance of him when he died. And you're on board with Ginger Tiger. Here we go, we have the 5 red lights. We are racing in Austria for the feature race. Who's got the best getaway? I can't tell from that angle, but I can from this one. It's going to be Gattuso who takes the lead. Oh, and Ruddo who's looking... Oh, that's Carnage behind. Carnage behind. Almost Carnage. A little bit of tapping and bumping. Almost Carnage. I say that. Mikey is down into 19th place, so he's got a lot of work to do after that start. Gattuso leads, though, into turn 3. Oh, we got a spinner. That's Typhoon. Has he been collected? I'm not quite sure. It did look like the car rotated more, but maybe not from a collision. Hopefully it's not from a collision. Further back, Jack is defending from Maris and trying to go on the attack against It's the Cat. It's a good move. There's a Haas in the gravel. That's Maris. He's down to 14th. Back at the front, Ruddo is behind Keza at the moment as they go through turns 7 and 8. And the Williams looking to maybe go one better in the feature race, but he's going to have to try and chase down Gattuso, who's already got 0.6 of a second to the good over Ginger Tiger. And the big train forms. Oh, Stevens had a good start. He's in 8th place. Maras is in the pits. I'm going to guess for a new front wing already. Typhoon 20 seconds behind on those hard compound tyres. He can't really come in. He's going to have to stick out on them and hope there's a safety car of some sorts. Turn 3 we go once again for the second time. Jack down the inside of O'Stephen. Gets the move done on O'Stephen. Lovely stuff from the championship protagonist. Cricks it down the inside of the leg. He'll get that move done. And while at the front, Keza gets past Ginger Tiger down into turn 4. Obviously DRS was active, but Ginger Tiger should have had DRS on Gattuso, but maybe that car sets up with more downforce than everyone else for this middle part of the second. I say that as he gets a little bit of wobble on through 8. Yes. Not ideal that for Ginger Tiger, losing those positions. That is your position change tower at the moment. Keza gets the fastest lap of the race so far. Gattuso still leads though. Biggest movers, Jack is up 4 places, as is Massive Marshall. Krixic up 5. Bruce now up 3 as he gets past the leg. And that looks like down into turn number 1. And Bruce on the move, but he's got a bit of time now. He's got 1.5 seconds to Krixic in that DRS train. It looks like Ruddo is going to have a chance here. Ginger Tiger down into turn 4. Yeah, sneaks that one through. Something not right with Ginger Tiger's car. Either in the setup or down. I'm not quite sure. I think that car's got too much downforce because he just seems like a sitting duck in a straight line, even with DRS. You see, he's already lost half a second to Ruddo. Something not right in the Mercedes camp, I don't think. Because we know Ginger Tiger is not a slow driver by any stretch. Cruz is up 6 places now, he's up into 13th. And Bruce having a bit of a scrap with the leg by the looks of it. Over 15th place. If you really want the biggest movers though, Typhoon down 9, Maris down 8, Mikey down 3 at the moment. As here comes Ivan Beloff to the inside. He knows he's got to get a move on if he wants to get up towards Gattuso. And here goes Nitric Ash as well. He's looking to the inside of Ginger Tiger's Massive March, picked up 3 seconds. Two Mercedes teammates. Oh, nearly coming together. Just about avoiding contact between teammates. Clips Kiri all over the back of Nitric Ash. As the leg has been overtaken by Bruce, Mike, and Mikey. Further back, Ruddo all over the back of Keza. He wants to get past this Red Bull and go after that Aston Martin. DRS wide open, and with Ruddo we've got to look behind as well because you can see Ivan closing in through turn 1. Doesn't get the best exit though. What do you do if you're Ruddo here? Because you got a threat from behind. Whoa, that was a bit of a wobble. There's Nitric Ash and Clips Kiri go side by side into turn 3. And that's a good bit of grip from the Haas. Can't complain about that. Massive Marshall down the inside of Mikey. Bruce now down to 17th. They're having a right old scrap for 14th. They've managed to catch up to the Racing Bull, and Massive Marshall was not going to let this one go. To the inside. Oh, again, a little bit of side-to-side contact, but again, that's more physics of the game than the way the driving is. Oh, Krixic gets past Matty Rudd in the middle of the circuit. Fantastic driving from those two. Massive Marshall in all sorts of trouble at the moment as he's now got Bruce behind him. So we'll maybe have to wait until the main straight, but that's not what he's going to want to do because Massive Marshall just doesn't quite have the pace of those around him at the moment. And we've missed it, but Keza has taken the lead of this race. I say that as here comes Gattuso and Ruddo. Gattuso 3-second penalty, multiple track infringements. As Ruddo now gets up into second place. Can he take the lead? Yes, he can. But Williams storms to the front of the field. Yellow flag, that's Mikey has gone round at turn 3. Meanwhile, Gattuso not giving this one up against Ruddo. And further behind, you've got Clips Kiri going around the outside of Ginger Tiger. At least he's trying to. He's not quite going to pay off on this occasion. Wow, this is tied between the top 7 at the moment. Jack 3.4 seconds behind. He's in 8th place. He can do nothing about this as Bruce gets past Massive Marshall. He needs to make sure he stays within DRS range of the leg here. As Ivan gets back past Ruddo and Gattuso to the front as well. In fact, Ivan now goes to the front himself as Ruddo now goes to the outside. Gattuso losing multiple places, side by side with Keza through turn 3. Looks like Clips Kiri's finally got the move done on Ginger Tiger as we head down towards turn 4. Gattuso back past Keza, looking to go around the outside of Ruddo. Not quite going to work, although, as I say, if you keep the momentum, he might have had a chance. Clips Kiri now looking at the back of the red ball of Keza. Unable to find a gap though, and slots in behind. Manic scenes at the moment. Ginger Tiger is down 5 places at the moment. Keza down 1. Keza now picks up 3 seconds of time penalty. Further back you got the 2. Mercedes now having a position swap by the looks of that. Moving Nitro thing. Oh, side by side between Crixik and it's the cat. The cat off the road. Whether he'll feel he's been sort of forced out wide, it's hard to tell from that angle. Doing one thing though, Massive Marshall was out wide through turn 1. Meanwhile, Keza in front. Oh, and he's good stuff from Gattuso. That was good. Just on the inside. A bit of contact. Front left to side pod. And it's 3 wide through turn 5. This is going to be interesting. Clips Kiri bows out of the move against Gattuso. He's going to lose a place to Keza for his valiance there. Although I think Keza won't be too pleased by the little bit of contact with Gattuso. And Ruddo following in the tyre tracks of Ivan Belov, who leads this race. Bruce past the leg. Those two need to work together here. Try and pull away from Marshall and also get towards the second DRS train that we have. And it's currently being led by the McLaren of Jack. Meanwhile, Crixik still trying to make his way through the field side by side with O'Stephen into turn 3. A little bit of contact and both go wide. Crixik will have to give that place up. But they've also given up position to It's the Cat. Meanwhile, we've got Keza with Clips. Clips looks like a good switchback opportunity, but can't quite find the traction to get alongside. There's so much battling going on at the moment. As Crixik just finally get past O'Stephen, although O'Stephen has lost a place to Sir Spud and O'Stephen and Matty Rudd. Here we go. Oh, a little bit tight for comfort there through turn 7. Through turn 6 and into 7. That's going to be an interesting conversation after the race. But Ivan Belov still leads by 6/10. It looks like he's got the pace at the moment to fend off those behind. All 19 runners are still in this race. Which is something that really Typhoon probably doesn't want, in all fairness. Not that he wishes ill on anyone, just he would prefer a safety car to catch back up to the pack. I think the likes of Bruce would also want a safety car right now. 5 seconds behind the pack in front, and you think about all the battling that like O'Stevens had just a minute ago, and still not losing time because of the DRS element. Oh, big moment for Jack. He's lost the rear. Somehow got it going in a straight line again. But yeah, riding on board with the cat there. Just gets on the throttle, and I don't know whether he just got on the power too early. Wasn't in the right gear. But we got Matty Rudd and It's the Cat side by side, and Matty Rudd's going to take that place away from the Alpine. But yeah, Jack, I don't know if it was wrong gear, just maybe a bit too punchy on the throttle. As Stephen gets past the Cat as well. But yeah, just lost the back end, and it was a good save from the McLaren driver as we got Ivan Belov. We got the 3 at the front. I'm not quite sure what's just happened, but all sorts of kerfuffling, and Gattuso now finds himself in the lead. Ivan Belov to the inside. Oh, big lockup for the Ferrari, but gets it under control. And Gattuso now leads this race. And we are back to having that 7 That top 7 very close together again. It looked like there was going to be a slight partial break, but as soon as the front guys start battling, everyone else closes in. Look at this, Nitrogas clips all over the back of each other, and Keza on to lap number 12. We are approaching the third race distance already. We've got a yellow flag. That is massive. Marshall is out of this race. Is that going to cause a safety car? At present, no. And it looks like it's going to get cleaned up without the... Oh, a bit of a tap. And that car seems to be moving again. So unfortunately, Massive Marshall retiring on circuit. Something that is against the rules in IRL. If you want to retire manually, you should always go back to the pit lane and retire. Cryptic and Sir Spud. This would be nice for Sir Spud. A little bit of dueling practice with Crixik. Right, getting a little bit sideways through turn 6 behind. But yeah, whoa, big moment for Crixik. Loses the rear, and that's going to allow Sir Spud to continue to close that gap again. Looks like the racing ball has got back into the pit to retire. This thing with Sir Spud, the constant application of DRS is going to keep him right underneath the rear wing of this Ferrari. Oh, and there goes. There goes Massive Marshall's car to pull up somewhere. It's going to cause a yellow flag, which isn't really ideal, but luckily the majority of everyone has gone past. Meanwhile, at the front, we're going to have side-by-side action. Rudder down the inside of Ivan, not quite paying off though. And Gattuso going to get a run, is he? Not quite. Not quite. Anyway, back to Sir Spud, who's made a move against Crixik for 8th place. So, Sir Spud really showing he can fight it with the best of them. Crixik not, by far, not a slow driver at all. And is this a pit stop coming for Crixik? He is on the medium tyres. He's going to stay within the white lines. Crixik's going to be our first pit stop of the day in terms of... I say that, sorry, no, Ginger Tiger will be. In terms of sort of scheduled pit stops, these are the first. Ginger Tiger, Crixik and Jack have all come into the pits. And Ginger Tiger is going to go out behind Mikey. I think all of these guys are going to get out in front of Typhoon though, as Matty Rudd picks up 3 seconds for track limits. And here's Typhoon, he's going to come out behind Crixik. He's interestingly now behind Jack. Very interesting, so we're moving the pit lane for Jack TM53 Synopsis. Meanwhile, back at the front, we got Ivan leading Gattuso, leading Rodo, Keza, Clips, and Nitrogas. The top is now a top 6. And I think we're going to have more pit stoppers. Here comes Keza and the other Mercedes. Gattuso is in the pits as well. Just about getting the car stopped in time. And here comes an issue for Ruddo. He's not within a second of Ivan. The Clips... Oh, and Bruce now gets 3 seconds of penalties. We're now back within DRS range. It's a bit sideways and the time penalties keep flowing in. Matty Rudd down the inside of Sir Spud. Red Bull versus Kick Sauber. And Matty Rudd done that very nicely because he's managed to keep DRS over Sir Spud, which gives him a good run down towards turn 4. So always the biggest thing around here is when you pit, you kind of almost want to come back out inside traffic, which sounds very, very weird, but as Ruddo and Ivan dive in the pits, as does Clips Kiri, Matty Rudd on those hards will not be pitting anytime soon. let's just have this back to the tyres. Yeah, all the recent stoppers onto the hard compound tyre. Everyone left to stop, all on the hards. Old hards was a bit of a slide from Sir Spud. Bruce now up into 4th place. Obviously this is only provisional because he is yet to make his mandatory stop. Looks like everyone playing the game. Where has Rodo has lost a lot of positions here. He's behind Keza. Well, he's lost a lot of positions. He's lost 1 as Jack picks up 3 seconds now. Keza around the outside of Mikey. Bit of contact and Mikey gets a bit sideways. It's going to hold up Rodo and Mikey now off the road. Mikey's not going to be too happy about that. I can assure you that. But Rodo's still maintaining a second to, or I would say was maintaining within a second to Keza. He's going to have to make sure that gets cut down by the time he comes out of turn 9. I don't think he was in. This could be trouble for Rodo. Yeah, he didn't have DRS. Keza does have DRS on Gattuso, so that gap's only going to grow. And now Rodo at the head of his own DRS train. He may well have to employ a tactic where he works together with those around him as Bruce and the leg going side by side. And this is full position. This is for 4th place on the road. Even though they are not net 4th, 5th, they are more than entitled and welcome to fight for their position. And it's up to Ivan to make the move clean, and he's managed to get past the leg, kind of almost scaring him a little bit partway through the corner. But Bruce, we know what Bruce is like. He's a great defender in F1. And everyone just concertining up there. This is going to be the ultimate defence, I think, from Bruce, or at least as much of a defence as he can put up. As we head into the DRS zone, going down the main straight, I think his defence may be up against Ivan. But if Ivan goes past too early, like here, if Bruce can get a good enough run, he could still, in essence, go back past Ivan. As we got a spinner, that's Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger nearly went round. Meanwhile, Bruce feels the mirrors. Keza looking to go around the outside of Bruce. Bruce spins almost to the inside wall. The end of his defence for Rodo. He gets absolutely freight train now. But look at the line of cars we've got. That looks like Bruce trying to keep it down the inside of, I think, Kriksik. He's going to have a good run. We're almost 3 wide with Jack there as well. Yeah, and Bruce thinking better off to fight Jack. Jack on a better line and better tyres. But he has just lost a lot of time to the kick Sauber cars ahead. So back down to 14th for Bruce. Well, this is the fight for Nets P1. Ginger Tiger getting past the leg. And the leg was battling with Bruce until Bruce had that spin or half spin at turn 3. Again, from the angles we had, hard to tell whether it was contact or just, again, light of the wheels on old tyres. And the leg now dropping positions, and Bruce now back within range of him, but not quite with the DRS to help him get up close and personal. Oh, collision between Keza and Ivan. Once again, Ivan's apex speed not as high as maybe those behind him thought it should be. Hopefully no damage to the Red Bull. But the little scrap between Ivan and Bruce, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough, because now we have, what's this, a 6, back to being a 6-car train again for this leading group. It's fantastic to see. Ginger Tiger has Kriksik behind. And we still have the 3 up front of Matty Rudd, Sir Spud and O'Stephen. Bruce and Mikey come into the pits now for their mandatory stop. Typhoon also comes in. Move back to his original set of mediums to see out the rest of this race. Bruce looking for an undercut on the leg, I would assume here. As we have Keza looking to the inside of Ivan, not gonna happen. Right now, the leading trio are doing well. I mean, if we have a late safety car here at the moment and they haven't pitted, they're in prime position as Krixik does get past Ginger Tiger. He's up into 10th. Remember, points for IRL go all the way down to 12th place, so Jack at the moment scoring a single solitary point. And we have the first of the Saubers in is O'Stephen, has come into the pits. Move allow the curve. Jack picks up another set of 3 seconds. He's going to have to be careful. Don't want to pick up too many of those as here comes Ginger Tiger. You see the leading 6 followed by the leading 6, the net leading 6 as Krixik returns to 9th, or will be 7th. These guys, if they can work together a little bit here, they might be able to catch up to the leaders, but Jack going down the inside of Ginger Tiger thinks I want that position more than you do right now. And Keza, interesting place through turn 6. Keza has got himself the net lead in the Red Bull. As we head down towards turn 9. The 2 up front, Matty Rudd and Sir Spud, happy to continue driving around at the moment. Putting as many laps on these hard tyres as they can. They're up to 21 so far, so they go on to lap 22. And this is the fight for the net lead. Here comes Ivan to the inside, bit of lock up. I'm not sure if it is lock up or not because he gets it slowed down pretty well, but Kezo on the outside line gets better traction, keeps the position, and it's something that we've noticed over the years in the F1 games around here is that actually it could be easier. Gattuso looks around the outside, gets the place, has he? We get it completed through 5. He's going to have the inside for 6, and Ivan probably going to have to back out of that one. Yeah, so Gattuso using the lack of apex speed from Ivan to go round the outside of the Ferrari. Good racecraft that from the Aston Martin. Yeah, we've seen it in years gone by with the game. Actually, giving your opponent the inside of turn 3 is not necessarily the worst idea because you get to open up the steering earlier, get it open a lot sooner, a lot straighter. You can put the throttle down a lot quicker and gain traction. And there's Ivan nearly going off the road, but just about staying within bounds as we head up into turn 3. Keza picks up 3 seconds of penalties now. No track infringements, and they're not going to let Ivan go here. It's Gattuso to the inside. Can he get that? Can he make that work? I don't think he can. Keza trying to make the outside work instead. What Gattuso done to Ivan, once again, Keza can't quite find the grip around the outside. It's going to throttle. Matty Rudd now picks up 3 seconds of penalties. Question is, are the top 2 going to come in? It looks like Matty Rudd might be looking at the mini-map. Yeah, Matty Rudd coming into the pits on lap number 23. Sir Spud happy to continue. Penalty-wise, that's the status. There's Ivan in second at the moment. He has no penalties. On the leg, 3 seconds to him now. He has made a pit stop. He's 2 seconds ahead of Bruce. And they're on equal. Oh, that is... Oh, sorry, that's Typhoon has retired from the race, unfortunately. That's a big shame for him, but... yeah, a bit of a lonely race back there after issues on the first lap. Meanwhile, Gattuso is now in second. We're fighting with Keza over 4th place at the moment. Keza under attack from Clips Kiri. Clips Kiri can't quite find the door and keep it ajar. When is Sir Spud pitting? Is he out here just going, I'm going to wait for a safety car? Because at the moment everyone's been quite clean. We are now 2/3 of the way through this race. 24 laps are in the books. Sir Spud has led 2 of those laps. It must be said. He is leading the race. But now he's going to have company in the form of Gattuso, Ivan, Ruddo, Keza, Clips Kiri and Nitrogash. We're going to keep the IRL veteran very, very busy. New turn 4 and Sir Spud's still in the lead of this race. What can Sir Spud do? Will he defend much? Will he just let them go? So one way to find out, and let's see what happens now with him and Gattuso. Yeah, through 7 and 8, down towards 9 we go, up over the crest. Sir Spud is going to stay out for now. And a splendid job. So he leads another lap of this Grand Prix. That's Albert's quick in a straight line, you know. It's either that or Gattuso was not interested in a move into turn 1. He's interested in a move now, though. As will be Ivan. Ivan, will he look to the inside of Gattuso as well? No, he can't quite do that. Sir Spud on the outside, loses another place to Ruddo. Now everyone behind has DRS against Gattuso. Obviously everyone trying to get past Sir Spud here. As quickly but still safely, because, like I say, where Sir Spud is right now, even though he's not really part of this race, he's perfectly entitled to defend his position and race with these guys. He's allowed to do that. This is full position at the moment. And Nitrogash, as Sir Spud just runs a little bit wide and opens the door for Nitrogash. I think those tyres are pretty much done and buried. The only thing here is, if Sir Spud can keep with them, there's potential if Crixit can get within a second of Spud, that Crixit can jack, along with Ginger Tiger, might be able to draft up back up to the back of that pack for the lead of this Grand Prix. Which would be amazing for Ginger Tiger if that's possible, because you got Gattuso with 3 seconds, Keza with 6, and Clips Kiri with 3. So there's some places to be gained here if there is potential, and Crixit is now within a second of Sir Spud, but the problem is Sir Spud is now outside of a second to Nitrogash, as Maris picks up another set of 3 seconds. So Typhoon had a hardware problem with his pedals at the start, which is the cause of that incident. Lap 27 of 36, this is flying by the moment. Jack picks up another set. He's now up to 9 seconds, which means the cat is in play. The cat about 7 and a bit behind Jack, but if he can close that gap, probably quite hard because he's not got anyone to work with DRS-wise. As Sir Spud finally gives him the ghost, maybe trying to wait out for a safety car, but he will come in. I'm going to strongly guess he's going to be on a set of soft compound tyres. He's lost a lot of time by being out there on those hard compound. He's going to have to make those softs work. Meanwhile, at the front, we've got Gattuso and Ivan swapping places like they've done pretty much all race. Ivan claiming the lead going into turn 4. Oh, and Keza pops one down the inside of the Williams of Ruddo. He's not quite going to find the door around the outside. Is that Jack? I think Jack just had a bit of an issue once again through turn 4 into turn 5, so that's not going to help his case, especially with that 9-second penalty. The cat and O'Steven more so, could be about to gain 2 places here from penalties galore. Bruce now 3.8, 3.7 behind the leg. He just can't find the pace to get back onto the car he was battling earlier on. He's kind of outside of any sort of penalty implications. Mikey now picks up 3 seconds himself. Ginger Tiger overtakes Krixic. I think at this point Ginger Tiger maybe was biding his time, seeing if they could get onto the back of the top 6, but without the help of Sir Spud, and they're not really catching him now, 3.6 behind. The clip's carried down the inside of Keza. Oh, a bit of contact, a bit more contact as we go through 5. But Keza gonna have the inside, gonna keep that place. Ruddo and Ivan are the two guys that especially need to be a bit careful. It's a bit of a slide there from Keza. Might open the door for Clips Kiri, but can't quite find the door. Yeah, Ivan and Ruddo have to be. They're the ones that have to be a little bit careful here. They don't have any penalties, so they will benefit from anyone who does. Same as Nitrogash. Nitrogash here on for a 3rd position as it stands. Keza for another 3 seconds. He's up to 9. This is going to bring Krixic into play now. Oh, and it's 3 wide into turn 3 like it has been before. Ruddo claims the lead. No DRS though, which is going to allow Ivan Gattuso sent backwards in the pack for that one. He's on the outside going in, and yeah, when you're 3 wide, if you're on the outside, you're never going to be quick. But these two together, they need to work together here for the next couple of laps, because Clips Kiri, they've got around about a second to Clips Kiri. If they can get that above a second and move away from the 4 cars behind, they can have maybe 2 or 3 laps to then settle the difference between them if they can break away. But it looks like Clips Kiri has done a great job of getting back a couple of tenths, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it is crucial in the context of this race. Matty Rudd has overtaken O'Stephen. Those two having a bit of a fight. Gattuso gets past Nitrogash. Ruddo down the inside of Ivan. So the answer is no, they're not going to work together. They are going to fight to the bitter end. And Ruddo now, once again, under attack from Ivan. But this time, can he defend through 4? Yes, he can. Ivan can't find the switch. Ruddo maintains the lead on this occasion for lap 31. A bit further back for 11th place. 11th and 12th, the final couple of points paying positions here. Matty Rudd and O'Stephen are quite close to each other. There's also Krixic, who has managed to, who along with Ginger has managed to close that gap to 6th place, 2.2 seconds. Ginger Tiger now picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. That's not ideal for him. He was in a good position to maybe take advantage of those ahead. Back at the front though, and Ivan look for a move. Yeah, well, it's a bit of a stupid question. Of course he's going to look for a move down the inside, locks the front brakes, somehow keeps it under control, doesn't take a position, actually loses one to Clips Kiri, because I think the problem is there is I don't think he got DRS. A lot of shuttling around in the back of this leading pack. Matty Rudd now over a second ahead of O'Stephen, so that one looks to, well, I say it looks to be settled, but the problem is we've got penalties to take into account as well. Bruce starting to close back in on the leg, 3 seconds. Is he just finding a little bit more pace now at the rear end of this race? So maybe have a look and have a go for 14th. Well, Ruddo now under pressure from Clips Kiri instead, who has 3 seconds worth of penalties. And the problem is the drivers will not drive like they have penalties. They will drive as if everyone is on level footing, because it is very plausible that people can, and they have done in the past, contest the time penalties. And I think Clips Curie has just done what Ruddo has tried to do on countless occasions. Get on the inside, but be behind at the detection point. Gattuso fighting Ivan, but just can't quite get past that red machine. Number 99 has strong pace all night. Is Mikey now overtaken by Maris? That's in the pit lane, so those boys at the back. I think that's Bruce. Yeah, Bruce has come in. I wonder if they've come in to try and get the fastest lap of the race. It's going to be quite hard without DRS. As Jack now picks up 12 seconds, another set of 3 seconds. He's up to 12 seconds at the moment. Meanwhile, this fight. Oh my word, that's not the way I'd have gone, right, Ivan, but... Oh, round he goes! Ivan's gone round! Bruce has picked up another 3 seconds of penalties, he won't care. But Ivan got turned around by Gattuso. But again, I think that was all because it was very, very packed together. Ivan now behind Jack. It was all very, very packed together, and you can see Ivan went absolutely dive from the outside and tried to switch back across. And I wonder if he just didn't quite notice that Gattuso was there. But that now brings it down to a 4-horse race at the front. And even then, it's only between Ruddo and Keza right now, if you were to take into account the penalties. Keza, Ruddo, Nitrogash, sorry. Keza has 9 seconds of penalties, so he's going to have to do very, very well if he wants to keep a podium spot here. Over gets past Jack down the main straight. No biggie, that one. Although, for Jack, he may want to try and use Ivan here as a bit of a tow. Sling a rope around him and take the pace with him. Because there's a chance here that he can fend off Matty Rudd. He'll get 9 seconds ahead of the cat, so he's got to be 12 seconds ahead of O'Steven. Let's just... It's the leader, 6.5. He's... what's that? He's not far off. He's 11 seconds ahead of O'Steven at the moment. It's mainly the cat that's the problem for Jack, who just had a fastest lap of the race from Mikey RK13 at 105.898. Gattuso picks up another set of 3-second time penalties. Oh! Huge collision! Keza in the wall. Ginger Tiger... not Ginger Tiger, sorry. Nitrogash involved. He's in the wall. Keza out of this race is another terminal finish for the Red Bull. What on earth just happened? Clips Kiri Ruddo. I'm speechless. What on earth? Just having a look back, at the time I was looking to see who had the fastest lap. Down the main straight, and just collision between the two. I don't know if Keza came across, but huge implications for the pair of them. Wow. Okay, anyway, final lap of the race. Ruddo has won the Austrian Grand Prix from Clips Kiri. Gattuso finishes third on circuit. It's going to be Ivan who takes the podium from Ginger Tiger. Gattuso is in 5th. Krixik is in 6th. Jack currently 7th. Matty Rudd crosses the line. He's in 8th so far, but it's the cat in 8th. O'Steven takes 8th on penalties. So O'Steven 8th, the cat 9th. Matty Rudd finishes 10th. Nitrogash is in 11th with no front wing. Sir Spud is in 12th. The leg will be in 13th. Spud taking the last points paying position as well. The leg 13th, Bruce. Maris picks up 3 seconds of time penalties. Bruce is having a good go here, probably fastest lap. doesn't get it. Mikey will come home 14th, Bruce 15th, Maris 16th, Keza, Typhoon and Massive Marshall. All retiring. So, provisional feature race results here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Ruddo takes the win from Clips Kiri. Ivan 3rd, Ginger 4th, Gattuso 5th, Krixik is in 6th, Jack is in 7th, O'Steven 8th, It's the Cat 9th, Matty Rudd is 10th, Nitrogash is 11th, Sir Spud 12th, The Leg 13th, Mikey 14th, Bruce 15th, Maris 16th, Keza, Typhoon, Massive Marshall. All retirements from the race. After leaving the race, yes, so Spud. After leaving the race, you got a point. I mean, it's a tough grid that was tonight. Lots of fast drivers, but congratulations on your points, Spud. Good. It's some really, really good race. You kept up with some very quick drivers, which is great to see. But we have... What do we have next week? Because we have another 5 races to go. So after tonight, after being at Spielberg, next week, it doesn't get any easier for our drivers. Monaco is next week, the jewel of the F1 calendar. That will be even more interesting. Tight walls, very little overtaking opportunities unless you make them yourself. So that's going to be a fantastic one to watch. But from everyone here at Invictus Racing League, yes, but very, very hard race. But always a fun one at Austria, I tend to find. Always a very fun one. But Monaco, going to be tough and hopefully fun for everyone. But it's always a fun circuit to drive is Monaco. So it's going to be interesting, especially with the amount of cars on the grid at the moment. It's going to make for a spectacular race next week. But from everyone here at Invictus Racing and myself, JPH, thank you all for watching tonight. Join us next week for the Monaco Grand Prix at the Invictus Racing League. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week.